Hello, hello. Now check. Now check the audio. Sorry, getting my voice.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So whereas in pacemakers, so the generation of the pulses, from the sinoatrial node, that is the sinus node, the pulses will reaches to different chambers of the heart will be makes slow. So it makes that the pulses transfers should be to the heart muscles will make slow. That is within given period of time, those pulses does not reach the uh, other parts of the heart, and some pulses may be blocks. So due to some blockages of these pulses, so the contraction of the heart will be changes. Okay, so to make the contraction of the heart should be functioning properly, so we are going to apply the impulses by using the pacemaker. So whereas coming to the defibrillators, for the defibrillators, what happens? The rapid movement of the action potentials. So in this case, the pulses are moves rapidly. Okay, from sinus node to the other parts of the ventricles of the heart. So when while moving that, these impulses will makes a just like what we can have millimeter. Okay, so the pulses which will be falls on the ventricles of the heart will makes that twisting like structure. So those pulses will makes that ventricular area or fibers will make a circular type of the circular type of um, potentials will be formed. See here. So from this figure we can identify that. So those generated the potentials which are reaches to the these ventricles. So they do not make the contraction of the heart. So they will be having some other variations that we can call as irregular variations of the ventricle muscles. Okay, so the fibers which are present over the these ventricles does not function properly. Okay, and when these fibers are not function properly, they will be does not provide proper contraction to the heart muscles. Okay, and due to that, the pumping of the blood is not proper way. Okay, so in this the condition in which this necessary synchronization, so the synchronization between the atrium and the ventricles is lost, and that situation is can be considered as a fibrillation. The synchronization, so the synchronization between the atrium and this and the ventricles will be lost, so that situation will be considered as a fibrillation. So how we can come back, that is to get back the how to get back the ventricular will be functioning properly. So that is that is possible by applying an electric shock. See here, so in the previous case, in the olden days, they will use mechanical methods. So just by pressing on the chest, so they will try to normalize the functioning of the ventricles. So after the, if it is not working, so then we have to go for the giving an electric shock to the heart. So by giving high impulse of the high current to the heart, so that makes that makes the proper functioning of the ventricles is possible. Okay, so if within minutes of time, if we not within minutes of time, if we not applied this fibrillation, or uh, within minutes of time, if we not applied the electrical pulses or the shock to the patient, so that maybe leads to death of the patient. So death of the patient. So and also the applying of the this electrical shock to the heart is also a dangerous process. Dangerous process. Okay, because we are applying a very high amount of voltage, and which will be passes through our chest and to the heart. The applied current, so are the for the generation of current we have to apply how much voltage is to be applied, and high current will be passes through the chest walls. Okay, uh, chest walls and to the heart. Okay, so like that the applied impulses or signals from the defibrillator, the device which are used to apply the shock to the patient when there is a fibrillation situation is occurred. Okay, the device which is used to make the normal synchronization or normal functioning of the ventricle of the heart muscle is done by using the defibrillators. Okay, uh, so for that, okay, if the proper defibrillation also an important, because if you given very large time of the signal to the patient, so that will be spoils that area. Okay, so in sometimes if you apply number of times, the chest area will be burns. Okay, the chest area will be damages. Okay, so like that we can apply like that the defibrillators are used to correct the ventricular synchronization. Okay, the functioning of the ventricles of the heart should be made correct by using the defibrillators. We can use the defibrillators to correct the functioning of the ventricles. So generally fibrillators are fibrillation. The fibrillation of atrial muscles is called atrial fibrillation. If the I mean the synchronization of the atrial is also not there, then we can get the fibrillation, and that atrial that fibrillation occurred at atrial or atrium of the or upper chambers of the heart will be called as an atrial fibrillation. Atrial fibrillation. And similarly, the fibrillation which is occurred at ventricles of the heart, the fibrillation which is occurred at ventricles heart, so that one is called as ventricular fibrillation. Ventricular fibrillation. Okay, so there are atrial fibrillation and the ventricular fibrillation. So for the both the cases we can use the defibrillator. So defibrillator makes the proper synchronization. Okay, if the applied pulses are moving very rapidly, okay, that makes the heart functioning improper. Okay, so within given period of time, these pulses should be transferred through the fibers of these heart muscles. Okay, so if the within a given period of time these are not transferred, or with the speed rapid action, these pulses will be uh, traveled through these heart muscles, that causes the improper functioning of the heart muscles, improper functioning of the heart, and that leads to the pumping of the blood changes. Okay, in some cases it produces high blood, and sometimes it does not produce does not pump any blood to the different parts of the body. Okay. So that's why the fibrillation is a fibrillation. When the fibrillation is occurred, we have to monitor the patient very carefully, and the fibrillation should be given. Defibrillation should be given within minutes of time. Okay, so uh, so we have to take much care the patients which are affected by the fibrillation. Okay, so coming to the types of the defibrillators. So we have said that defibrillator is a device so that should be applied to the heart muscles to make the or correct the synchronization of the heart muscles. Okay, so defibrillation is the output of the defibrillator is nothing but the electric shock or sudden pulse, high high current pulse. We apply high current pulse by applying sudden shock that makes the proper functioning of the heart. Okay, so the defibrillators are classified based upon the um, type of the electrode placement. So whether it is placed internal or external. So based upon the internal placement of the electrodes, these defibrillators are classified as internal defibrillators and external defibrillators. And based upon the type of the supply used. Okay, so for producing of the shock, we have to use the power supply. So the type of the power supply we are going to use for uh, for defibrillator, and these are classified as AC defibrillator, DC defibrillators, and synchronized DC defibrillators. Okay, so coming to the next one, and these are the for applying the shock to the patient, we cannot directly give the wires, so we have to connect these to the electrodes, and those electrodes should be placed. Okay, so suppose by using the by using the internal defibrillator, so we will use a spoon shaped electrode. So we use a spoon shaped electrode. This spoon shaped electrode will be placed in the heart whenever there is a heart surgery was occurred. So when there is a heart surgery was done, we will place this copper spoon, that is spoon shaped electrode, which is near to the ventricles of the heart. So we will directly fix the electrode, that is a spoon shaped electrode, which is placed near the ventricles when there is a heart surgery was done, that is open heart surgery was done. Okay, and the next one is a paddle shaped electrode. paddle Paddle shaped electrodes. So this is the insulated handle. Okay, and below of this insulated handle, this is the structure. Okay, so this is the insulation, and in between we have an copper disc. In between we have a copper disc. So for this copper disc, we will connect the supply, and this is a paddle shaped. So these are applied on the patient's chest. Okay, so by using two electrodes, paddle shaped electrodes, we will apply the pulse. Okay, so there are applying methods are different. So how we can apply these electrodes, and these electrodes are nothing but the external defibrillator. These electrodes, that is paddle shaped electrodes, are used for external defibrillation. So for internal defibrillation, we use the spoon shaped electrodes. For external defibrillation, we use the paddle shaped electrodes. So here there are two methods how these electrodes are placed. Okay, so there are anterior position, anterior position, and another one is anterior posterior position. Anterior position and anterior posterior position. Okay, so um, so by applying anterior position, the current will flow through the heart. The current will be flow through the heart. Whereas anterior posterior position, the current flows from the back to the chest through the heart. Okay. So it will be okay. So anterior type of the applying. So the current will be flows through the heart. Okay. So whereas anterior posterior position, so the current will be come back to the heart. Okay, it means back to the chest through the heart. So based upon the type of the power supply we are using for the construction or development of the defibrillators, the first one is AC defibrillator. AC defibrillator. So by using AC defibrillator, so we can apply the AC voltage. So it is somewhat I mean, it will produces more uh, voltage to the patient. Okay. Or because here we are using an AC supply. Okay, and this is the fuse and switching operating with the time circuit, and this is the step-up transformer. So here we are using a step-up transformer. So by using this step-up transformer, so the input voltage AC supply will be increased by different tappings. We can collect that increased output voltage, and those increased output voltage is directly applied to the electrodes, and these electrodes are applied to the heart. From the electrodes to the that voltages are applied to the heart. Okay. So the application of this AC supply is depends upon the timing circuit. Okay. So there is a RC timing circuit will be there, and the time period. So how much time we have to apply? That is also one of the important. If you apply more amount of time, that is in terms of seconds or minutes, so it causes the death of the patient. So applying of the time. So how much time we have to apply these pulses? That is also one of the important factor. Okay. So for that we can use the here the switch is operated with the timing circuit. So there is a timing circuit will be there. So when the timer is on, the switch is closes. When the timer is off, the switch is opens. So the time should be specified. That is provided by a RC timing circuit. Okay. Generally, we can apply from 0.1 second to 1 second. So the duration of the applying this pulse or applying this voltage shock to the patient duration is 0.1 second to 1 second. So in between this period we can apply. So depending upon this situation of the patient. So generally the how much voltage we have to use. So that is also important. So that is around 750 volts, 250 volts to 750 volts AC should be applied. The voltage applying voltage is the range of 250 volts to 750 volts. We can apply it to the patient. Okay, and that the duration is around 0.1 second to 1 second. Okay, and the next one is DC defibrillator. if you apply the more amount of the voltage to the patient, so that will be causes the damage to the heart and heart muscles and chest muscles. Okay, so that's why the applying voltage is also very important. In some hospitals they will be have a chart, that is how much time we have to apply the pulse and how much voltage is to be applied for a period, for this amount of the period, how much voltage is to be applied. So depending upon the this fibrillation situation, okay, there is a proper guidance is there, amount of how much amount of current and voltage and how much period we have to apply. Okay, so that is also very important. And the second one is DC defibrillators. Okay. So here the DC defibrillators. So already you know that DC. So DC voltage is obtained by from the AC by using a rectifier. So by using a rectifier, we will convert the alternating voltage, that is AC voltage, into the DC voltage. So here we have a 220 volts 50 hertz. Uh, this is power supply. So 220 volts or 230 volts AC signal with 50 hertz is connected to the, this one is the auto transformer. Auto transformer. Okay. By varying this voltage, the switch is, we can increase or decrease the input voltage for the this transformer T2. So this is auto transformer. So from the auto transformer we can adjust the input voltage. We can get the output voltage by adjusting a switch. Okay. So it's like a potentiometer. It's like a potentiometer. So but here there is no resistance. It is a coil. Okay, wounded coil. So when the position of the switch is changes, the output voltage also changes. Okay, and that change in voltage is observed by a voltmeter. So we should know that how much voltage we are going to apply to this transformer T2. So that's why before applying the voltage to the transformer, so we have to note down the value, how much voltage it is producing from the auto transformer. From the auto transformer, we will observe the how much voltage it is obtaining, and that voltage is applying to the transformer T2. And this transformer T2 will be, here it is a step down transformer, and here the current range is 6 amperes. So we can use the current range is 6 amperes. Okay, and the 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 step down voltage, the voltage which is produced at the secondary of the T2 transformer is allowed to pass through the diode. Okay, so this is a diode, and which will be allows only, so in this case it allows one, it is in the forward bias. Okay, it allows only positive half cycles. And when the switch is connected to, when the switch is connected to diode, when the switch is connected to diode, the current will be flowing through the capacitor, oil filled capacitor. This is the oil filled capacitor, and its value is 16 microfarads, and its value is 16 microfarads. Okay, so when the switch is connected to diode, the applied input voltage is due to that applied input voltage, the capacitor is going to charge. So plus and minus. Okay, it will be charges to the maximum of this capacitor. Okay, so after by using the, it will be charges. Okay, so now I have to apply the pulse to the, or shock voltage to the patient. Okay, so in such situation we will disconnect, this um, this switch to A, and it will connect to the inductor L. That is switch is connected to point B. Okay. Now what happens when the switch is suddenly connected to point B? Then the current will be flows through this inductor and it will be reaches to the electrodes. So due to that, there is a sudden so uh, when the switch is connected to B, okay. So initially the switch is connected to A, and this diode will be acts as an rectifier. The AC voltage will be sent to the transformer T2 through the auto transformer. So the voltage which is applied to the electrode will be first will be applied by this voltmeter. Okay, and after that it will be applied to step down transformer. The voltage will be applied to diode, and in the forward bias direction this circuit will be acts as a this diode will be acts as a short circuit, and the current will flow through this capacitor, and due to that the capacitor will be charges. So when the switch is connected to B, when the switch is connected to point B, then the capacitor will be discharges. Okay, so discharges suddenly. Okay, if suppose there is no inductor is placed here, if there is no inductor will be placed here, the capacitor will be suddenly discharges. The capacitor will be suddenly discharges. So sudden discharge of the current will be caused to damage of the heart muscles. Sudden discharge, sudden spikes that will be causes the damage of the heart muscles and the chest muscles. Okay, or burning of the chest is also occurs. Okay, to avoid to avoid uh, to avoid such burnings of the chest and damage to the heart, so we are using an inductor an inductor. So by this there is a slow formation, slow discharge, so makes some discharge, I mean makes the discharge of the capacitor or shape of the discharging capacitor will be changes. Okay, spikes does not occur. By using inductor, we applied or discharging of the voltage from the capacitor are not the spikes. There is some shape of the discharge waveform will be occurs. So this figure will shows the discharging of the capacitor. Okay, so this is the applied current which is applying the this is the amount of the current we are applying to the heart muscles. Okay, and this is the on the x-axis we have a time in milliseconds, time in milliseconds, and this is the applied current in amperes. So we can apply around nearly 20 amperes of current. See here, 20 amperes of current. So for home purpose, so we can for home applications the current is not more than 1 ampere, not more than 1 ampere. If such current will be if we get shock, so we will get a damage to our body. Now in this these defibrillators, they are apply a current of 20 amperes, maximum current of 20 amperes. and that amount of current will be causes that the high shock to the heart, and due to that the proper functioning of the heart will be possible. Okay. That is irregularities in the ventricles of the heart will be comes into the normal way. Okay. Okay. So like this, we have the DC defibrillator. So the main use of the inductor usage is to change the shape of the waveform. Okay. If we are not using this inductor, so the capacitor will be discharges sharply. Okay, sharply, and that causes the damage to the heart muscles and chest muscles. Okay. So after this period of time, so again this switch is disconnected and connects to the diode, that is A. So again the capacitor will goes to charges, and it should be ready anytime if you want to apply. So again I have to apply. Okay. So again I will disconnect this A to B, and we will apply to the electrodes, and electrodes through electrodes it will be applied to the heart muscles. So generally we can apply the energy. So here we can express the how much energy is to be applied. So how much energy is to be applying on the heart muscles are expressed in terms of the energy. So that is in terms of joules. So it is around 288 joules we can apply. 288 joules of energy we will apply. Okay. So this is another one, that is DC defibrillators only. So here uh, dual peak DC defibrillator, dual peak DC defibrillator. So whereas in the previous case, so in the previous case of DC defibrillator, so we are using a single peak. Okay. So in place of single peak, so you can use the double peak at here at where is this? So here we can apply the voltage as a double peak. Okay. So we'll apply as a double peak in this way. Okay. So that is the output of double peak DC defibrillator. This is the output of the double peak DC defibrillator. So in this case also same. So but here we can use the two capacitors. So two capacitors. Okay. And through inductors and one resistance R1. So up to this point it is same as the DC defibrillator. So after that the switch is connects to the diode. Okay, switch is connects to diode, and due to that what happens, the two capacitors C1 and C2 will be charges. Okay, and when the switch is connects to when the switch is connects to the point 2. Okay, so then the capacitors will be discharges through 2. Okay, and those will be applied to the heart of the heart muscles of the heart. So